up on AC 24/7. Severe flooding in California is closing roads and forcing people out of their homes. What it means for the drought-stricken West Coast. Plus, fallout for Southwest following a turbulent holiday travel season. How federal regulators are responding. And we'll show you how one candy maker special tribute to two women. For AC 24/7, I'm Lamont Baldwin. California has gone from extreme drought to extreme flooding in a matter of days. At least 16 people are dead as relentless wave after wave of severe weather continues to impact the state. More than 34 million people remain under flood alerts, mass evacuations continue in numerous locations, and many roads are closed across the state.
The water kept getting deeper and deeper.
There was so much water, it was gushing and it knocked me over.
California, already pounded by a bomb cyclone last week that brought hurricane-force winds, torrential rain, flooding, and mountain snow, is now in the throes of yet another atmospheric river storm, a weather system transporting a high concentration of moisture and dumping epic amounts of heavy rain.
We are into atmospheric river number 5.
But just last week, several counties in the state were experiencing the exact opposite, exceptional drought. Marked by the deep red on this map, it's considered the most severe. Although California's recent parade of ultra-wet storms have not completely reversed the decades-long dry spell, flood warnings have now replaced severe drought warnings in the same areas. This weather whiplash is forcing California to face the dilemma of how to manage floodwaters as the state experiences dramatic shifts from drought to downpours. Experts tell CNN part of the solution is drawing levees back to allow rivers more room to safely flood.
We have to let our rivers flow differently and let the rivers flood a little more and recharge our groundwater in wet seasons.
Climate scientist Peter Glick says levees have effectively protected communities in the past, but they're not designed for the climate challenges of today. He says containing floodwaters means less water is available to seep into thirsty underground aquifers, a desperately needed water source for farmers and communities for drinking water during extreme drought.
Instead of thinking that we can control all floods, we have to learn to live with them.
Glick says that means communities will have to get out of the way. Entire cities and towns would need to relocate.
These changes are absolutely easier said than done, but they have to be done. We have to redesign flood insurance policies so that we're not rebuilding houses once they've been damaged in the same places where they're going to flood again. We have to design flood insurance policies to encourage people to move away from floodplains so that we can open up the floodplains, and when we get those floods, they'll be less damaging.
Twitter has now restored the account of two prominent election deniers. Stop the Steal organizer Ali Alexander's account was restored on Monday. Alexander used Twitter to promote events that led up to the January 6th events. Twitter also restored conspiracy theorist Ron Watkins' account, who then President Trump retweeted multiple times in the days before the Capitol attack. Watkins promoted conspiracy theories about voting machines in the 2020 election. Get ready for gas prices to take a post-holiday tumble. That's according to AAA, which says prices have now flattened after going up during the holiday season. This week, gas prices fell more than 1 cent, bringing the national average to $3.28. The reason for the decrease? Lower demand. Federal regulators are now responding to thousands of complaints related to Southwest Airlines' holiday travel meltdown. That includes complaints the airline isn't making good on its pledge to issue refunds. The Department of Transportation has sent every complaint directly to Southwest, and the agency has given the airline 60 days to respond. Southwest canceled more than 16,000 flights between December 21st and December 31st. The airline has to honor passenger refund requests within 7 business days if the traveler paid by card, and 20 if they paid by cash or check. Americans could soon be paying out of pocket for their COVID-19 vaccines and boosters. The vaccine maker Moderna will likely charge between $110 and $130 per dose when the government contracts end. Moderna's chief executive officer said, quote, "Pricing is consistent with the value of the vaccine." Pfizer says it will charge about the same per dose. Many people will have to pay the full amount because of their patient assistance programs to help with people without insurance. According to preliminary data from Johns Hopkins University, more than 267,000 people died of COVID-19 last year. A 6-year-old student remains in custody after police say the child shot a teacher at a Virginia elementary school. The 25-year-old teacher is in stable condition, and officers say the shooting was not an accident. The Advocate Channel's Isabel Rosales has more details.
Virginia officials are investigating a shooting on Friday at Rich Neck Elementary in Newport News after police say a 6-year-old student shot a teacher. 25-year-old Abby Zwerner is listed in stable condition after multiple injuries from a single gunshot.
Mrs. Zwerner was providing class instruction. The 6-year-old child displayed a firearm, pointed it at her, and fired one round.
A grandparent of a student who was inside the school during the shooting says she helped the bleeding teacher.
The teacher that was shot, she came into the office saying that she had been shot. She had blood on her hand and blood on her shirt, and she said that she had been shot. I don't know if she fainted, but she had fallen to the floor, and I screamed at that point.
Police say the 9mm gun was bought legally by the student's mother, and the student brought it from home in a backpack. One student who was in a different classroom during the shooting described the chaotic scene.
When it happened, the teacher heard it from the first grade, and we all went to the room. And when the cops came, we were marching to the gym, and we were all safe.
Rich Neck Elementary will remain closed for the rest of the week as officials give students, quote, time to heal. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
The cryptocurrency industry is starting 2023 amid growing fraud concerns. From failed digital coin exchange to online scams, and now law enforcement and federal regulators. It's all good. I fucked up anyway. The cryptocurrency industry is starting 2023 amid growing fraud concerns. From failed digital coin exchanges to online scams, and now law enforcement and federal regulators are issuing warnings. The FBI says scammers and so-called pig butchering schemes fatten up the pig by getting the victim to think they're investing in a crypto, then they steal their money and butcher off communication. The Advocate Channel's Mike Valerio has a look at how to avoid becoming the victim.
Get ready for another crypto roller coaster ride this 2023. The FBI and other agencies are raising concerns about an online scam called pig butchering.
We're not talking about what's going on farms. We're talking about a cryptocurrency investment scam that is sweeping the country. It is costing Americans billions of dollars in losses.
Authorities are urging you to be careful when getting random texts or messages through social media with invitations to start investing in cryptocurrencies.
When you finally ask for your money, guess what? Your friend has disappeared.
It comes as several recent crypto-related headlines sent a chill through an already anxious community. First, Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of failed crypto exchange platform called FTX, pleaded not guilty this month to federal fraud and conspiracy charges linked to his company's meltdown. Then, the SEC charged 6 people in an investment scheme called CoinDeal that raised more than $45 million on false promises of access to blockchain technology. And also this month, U.S. regulators have issued their first joint statement warning banks and others about the risks of fraud, volatility, and poor risk management in the crypto world. So, what can you do to avoid becoming a victim? Law enforcement officials say scammers usually target their victims by sending mass texts, hoping somebody takes the bait.
Perpetrators of these crimes have been trained in techniques of psychological deception, in techniques to gain people's trust.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mike Valerio.
A limited edition pack of M&Ms features an all-female cast. The purple, brown, and green M&Ms are spokes candies voiced by females. And candy makers Mars says they are shown upside down on the package to, quote, celebrate women everywhere who are flipping the status quo. The pack comes in 3 options: milk chocolate, peanut butter, and peanut. Mars said a portion of profits will go to organizations that are uplifting and empowering women.